Hey, what's going on, YouTube? This is your boy Fox, and I gotta say, I'm pleasantly surprised. I was expecting my mouse video to get very little attention because I know that the majority of the player base uses controllers. So the few of you that commented, thank you. This is gonna be a follow-up video to that. I had seen one commenter talk about setting your coefficient to 0, and I'm all for trying anything to make this work better, you know, because I really don't want to lose my input type. Now, what I believe is the whole point of monitor distant coefficient. It's been a while since I've brushed up on my monitor coefficient knowledge, so forgive me. But monitor coefficient is where it takes your aim when you're aiming down sights, and depending on the ADS sight, you'll have a different field of view. That's what causes the screen to look like it's zooming in. It's just essentially a different field of view. But when that occurs, it changes the sensitivity of your input type. It changes your field of view, and essentially they've done to fix that the sensitivity variations with field of view changes is they came up with this thing called relative. Now, this isn't a Call of Duty thing that came up with it. I'm not sure which first-person shooter actually came up with this, but I've noticed it doesn't work right in this game anyways. And so essentially what relative is supposed to do is it's supposed to create a one-to-one for your input regardless of the field of view that you have. And I've noticed, depending on the sites in several of the newest Call of Duty games, that it doesn't really matter. So I had a commenter say, change your monitor distant coefficient to 0. Now, in doing so, what I'm assuming this does is essentially set it to legacy. Because look, this then grays out. But we'll keep it at relative, set it at 0, and see what happens. I'm all for trying new things, guys. And like, I'm nothing against this commenter at all. I appreciate people out there trying to give what they deem as a fix. There's nothing wrong with that. I just figured I would make a video and explore the possibilities of what it felt like. So let's do it. Open matchmaking or fake open matchmaking today. Who knows? We're about to find out. So let's see if monitor coefficient does anything. Yeah, it definitely changes, because look at this. So essentially what the commenter has done is just made it to where it's a legacy input. So I don't feel that that's the fix personally, but if that's what you like to do, buddy, that's okay. It didn't take me a second to get used to a 0 coefficient, that's for sure. But see, when I move my mouse here, you can't actually see my arm. But there's a huge difference. They should be 1-to-1. So essentially, it's just set it to legacy. Which I had heard people say before that helped them. Really, there's something really wrong with this game and inputs, man. I can't even do it. I can't even play this way. Not good. So essentially, that's what this commenter suggested, is just to turn on legacy. Holy Christ, man. I am not used to the way this feels. Which, I mean, yeah, in a sense, this gives you more precision because you have a much lower sensitivity value when you ADS, so I can see why he feels like this is a fix for it. I can see that, but I prefer, no matter the field of view, for everything to feel 1-to-1, and that shouldn't be a problem, right? That's why relative settings were invented. I guess I was wrong. This is the sweaty lobby, because I'm just sitting here playing, you know, testing things out, trying to play for fun, and these guys are just brutal. Yeah, totally open matchmaking. I get none of the casuals are playing open matchmaking at this point, but that's because everybody's made such a big deal out of, oh, I gotta have my own skill bracket. Oh, God forbid I have, you know, a varied experience. I get it. I don't want to get my butt beat in all the time either, but I mean, this is no different than SBMM for me when it's lobbies like this and open. And then you've got this input nonsense on top of it. So forgive me for going 0.4. Yeah, I really don't feel like you should have to break relative settings to get more control over your ADSing. Like that just shouldn't be required. Again, all these potential fixes, just it's backwards from what needs to happen, and that's for, you know, the settings they create and allow you to use to work correctly. Again, I can see why the guy says that that's a fix for him, because he feels like he has more control with the lower ADS sensitivity, but that's not a fix at all. The fix would be to have one-to-one aim, no matter the field of view, and you're not feeling like your aim's being thrown off 24/7. That match was ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And it took me over a minute to find that lobby. I get free-for-all is not the most popular game mode, guys. Like, I understand that. You're telling me that's all they can find? If so, I mean, that's crazy. Yeah, of course they're going to keep me in there, but, you know, if I kick ass, I'm immediately ejected from the lobby. There was like one game that I got to record and put on YouTube where I had like a 30 KD that it kept me. I was shocked. Because normally if I get a 2.5 KD or higher, boom, you're out of here, bitch. Go face those sweats. You know? All right. I tried your fix. I not knocking you at all, buddy. Like, at all. Like, if that works for you, I'm glad you found something that feels good to you. But for me, I've got to have a one-to-one no matter the field of view. Like, that shouldn't be a problem. Now, there's this other school of thought where you can use 1.78. Like, it's kind of varied. Some people say use 1.3. Some people say use 1.78. And why can't this just be automatically calculated? Well, I can get them wanting to let you, you know, mess with it or whatever, but there's just so much inconsistency in the information that, hell, I don't even know what to think half the time. Now, see, here's a true one-to-one. But when you go to ADS, you'll get variations in your sensitivity. Like, sometimes you'll go to aim and it feels great. Other times you go to aim and it's like, whoa! You just feel like you can't aim. There's something wrong with that. There's something really wrong with that. What it is, can I tell you 100% certain what it is? No. I don't code the game. All I know is I know what mouse input should feel like. And this ain't it. And considering the Ricochet AI anti-cheat and what they do to troll cheaters, I mean, that's like the magician revealing his trick, right? That, in my opinion. You're telling me that they do have real-time systems to manipulate players, and people have been accusing them for years that they feel like that there's real-time manipulation of the general population, and yet, and for sure, Ricochet anti-cheat does have that system? Huh, I mean, are the stars aligning, or am I just crazy? Ask any person that doesn't want to give any deep thought to it, and they're going to say, oh, you're a conspiracy theorist. Do you guys not know how corporations work and just how dirty they are? Because it's bad. I mean, look at the state of the world, guys. It ain't exactly a great place to be unless you got lots of money. I'm not one to hate a man for making $1, but, you know, once you get to the billions and you still feel like you need to make more billions, that's a sickness, my friend. Absolutely, that's a sickness. Now, you're a millionaire and you worked hard to get it or whatever, you know. As long as you're not screwing over everybody else trying to make a living, there's nothing wrong with that. But, you know, that's just kind of not how it works in society today. I'm getting off topic. But see, this is a one-to-one aim. This is what I'm used to. I understand where the guy's coming from with the zero coefficient, but essentially that's just turning legacy on. Because then when you zoom in, you have a different ADS and it's much slower because it's not factoring that in with their relative coefficient settings. Like, I may not be explaining this 100% correctly. You see there, that felt great. Felt like I could aim. Maybe 1.78 helps a little more. I used to run a 1.78 coefficient, but Then I got tired of having to like mess with it after every update, and I just left it at 1.33 and said I'm done with it. But I don't know. I'm gonna keep testing here. I wish I could find the fix that worked for all mouse players, but something tells me that it's just not gonna happen. It's something that isn't fixable. Because I've messed with stuff like this before and had yet to find an answer, and that's what leads me to look down these rabbit holes, per se. Somebody here, there always is. Sorry, buddy, I hate to get you off spawn, but I mean, people do it to me, right? So I do plan on making a video about the open matchmaking, guys, because I've got some really valid points and solid logic to drop on you guys. So that way, when you hear some really bizarre arguments like that, you know in your gut just isn't true, I'm going to give you what it is you need to know. And then, of course, there's the spawn video. I know this one's really important to me. Like, I want to make sure it's done right, and I've had so much going on in my life that I've just been making short live videos instead. It's easier for me to do that. I know that's not everybody's cup of tea. A lot of people like really polished, like well done videos, and I can do it. It's just in the past when I've done that, my recommendations through the YouTube algorithm was just terrible. Like it always broke my heart when I put in so much effort into editing, and then I'd get the algorithm to maybe recommend it to 20 people if I was lucky. I'm just like, man, that ain't right. Like, why am I not giving it a chance? This ain't right. You know, so I will make the video, I promise, guys. I had gotten sick, then there's other stuff going on in life. I'm a dad, I've got 2 kids. And then there's all this other Call of Duty news, and like, it was really bugging me when I'd go to play and the mouse just kept feeling weird, so I wanted to make that video. But I'm hoping this weekend I'll finally be able to sit down and make this spawn video and open your eyes even more. I mean, honestly, I don't even know if you guys want to know, because it ain't good. None of this is ever any good, right? But it is interesting to those who want to think critically and try to understand why they can't do consistent in Call of Duty anymore compared to the OG titles. Like, that's what made me start looking into all this. Is I was like, man, how come I'm never consistent? Like, this doesn't make a lot of sense. I'm consistent in Fortnite. Why am I not consistent in Call of Duty? Like, yeah, I get the games are different, but they're both shooters. And so, yeah, I mean, there's reasons to why I think the way I do, basically. Honestly, I'm doing pretty good this match. I get where the guy's coming from. Mess with your coefficient. If you got a 16:9 monitor, try 1.3, try 1.78, or try 0 if you don't mind not having one-to-one sensitivities. Like that's wild to me, though. I am so used to having one-to-one aim in every other game that would just drive me nuts. Did they add claymores into this? I seen it was in Warzone. Aww. They didn't add... How come there's not claymores in this? Guys, I love setting traps. Because I wouldn't be so dependent on traps if the spawn system weren't so crazy, right? I mean, it's nice to have that extra bit of security. Because someone's always going to be behind you, especially in free-for-all, and especially with the way this spawn system works. You gambit? I've faced this guy a million times. All these players that I'm playing, I've seen time and time again. Real open matchmaking, let me tell you. I saw some guy on Reddit comment on one of my comments today, and he's like, oh, it's just because that's who's local to you. Really? I've got maybe 100 players that are local to me that play free-for-all, and I'm not allowed to play anyone else? How come my latency is 39 and not like 10 then? Look up the top left, you'll see my latency is damn near 40, which is generally that's what it is. It used to be around 19 and I would hit a Chicago server, and I know they switched to Microsoft Azure servers, or however the hell you say that, but I don't know.
I will say using 1.78 coefficient does feel a little better to me. Like, I haven't felt my aim being completely knocked off yet. I'm kind of shocked. Maybe that's the answer? I highly doubt it. Look at that, ladies and gents. Zoom, boom, right on them. Come here, Gambit. Well, there you guys have it. If you want me to run more testing with different coefficients, comment below. Please give me a like, guys. Any interaction at all helps my channel grow. I was kind of hoping over time to make a little bit of money from ad revenue from YouTube. Due to various factors in my life, it would really benefit me if you guys could interact in any way. I hate e-bagging or whatever they call it. I try not to mention it too often, so please give me a like, give me a subscribe, give me a comment below. I love interacting with the community here on my channel. I'll catch you guys in the next one. This is Fox signing out. Peace.